Second, today I had the honor to deliver a final report, and in this report we have recommendations. 11 of these recommendations are to be executed by the Election Commission in a future period before the next election period. We have 7 recommendations that we consider very important ones, and these recommendations are concerning the voter education. They also concern, for a major part, the real training for the parties as well in the future in order to be able to discuss the policies that are of the concern for the citizens. We praised very well the openness of Electoral Commission, who implemented our last report and who was very much accessible to our mission. And we praised also the whole atmosphere in which elections was held, and also the willingness of Jordan. I had the honor to be received by His Majesty the King Abdullah, and we discussed the continuation of modernization process. And this is something that I praise and welcome, that despite these regional circumstances, this modernization process is continuing, and we endeavor as well as European Union to help in with our means and also with our experience in this modernization process. We have seen the great improvement from the last time when we were observing the election, from the last elections. We have seen the great improvement from the part of the Electoral Commission, and the transparency in which they started this whole procedure, the implementation of and the accordance with the regional and international standards that Jordan is assigned to. This is what we are estimating, because every country has its own elections and they have the conventions that they have signed, and we are judging only, and we are considering only those conventions that Jordan has signed and your local and national laws. So this is something that we esteemed and we analyzed. That was very, it was done very positively, and but there is also, as in every country, there's a room for improvement and for the progress, and this is what we have also put in our recommendation. And this is why in the next 2 years we will come back return visit and to check whether these recommendations have been implemented, because European Union is invited to many countries to do this exercise. But we only esteem and we only go to those countries that are improving electoral procedures. So it's something that I esteem very positive. I'm put as a chief election observer, appointed by a high representative and by European Parliament as a politician, to see that this whole procedure was done independently without any political influence. And in future, we would like to see more training to in the Parliament, in the House of Representatives, to your members and to their staff, and to come to Europe to talk or to have interactions with our member states, with their national parliaments, and to see how to develop and discuss the policies that they will represent as a parties, because this is the first time that you have people around the parties. Before it was individuals. So it is a process that takes time. And coming from Croatia, that also have gone through this process, and Eastern Europe as well, Southeast Europe has gone through modernization process. This is a procedure that takes time and takes an effort. And I think in this aspect, the European Union is there to offer our experiences. Yeah, it is very important for women. I mean, we are encouraged that women at these elections were elected more even than the quota was on the list. So there was a high number of women elected on the list. From the last recommendations, we encouraged the women and the youth participation, and this has proven to be the case. But we encourage more participation in the debate, more covering on the woman as a politician in a positive sense, to have them talking about issues that are, and also in political debates. This is how they will achieve visibility and how they will be more prominent and they will serve more like a role model for future young women to get engaged in a political life. And also youth, we have in last recommendations, we recommended the lower level of the candidate to be at 25 years old. This was accepted. We have seen a high presence, as well as a quota of communities. That's something that is to be praised and to be also preserved as a spirit of Jordanian modernization system. It's a mixture of what we have in the European Union of diversity, of different cultures, different backgrounds, and also women quota is a key issue. We are encouraging in European Union also young people to take part in political life and to be a candidate, but also to be engaged in the debates. So this is something that I would highly recommend to continue, because the future belongs to them. This is what I really thanked His Majesty at the audience, that these elections were held despite the high level of sensitivities and these regional insecurities that we have. I praise also the brave move to organize these elections that were done without any incidents that were noticeable, I mean, at least to our election observers, and they were done in orderly manner. And I think that only modernization of the system and the discussion about why the politicians are in politics, not to raise the temperature. It's very easy to raise the temperature and to talk about regional issues. But politics, that kind of politics doesn't bring bread on your plate, doesn't feed your children, doesn't give young people housing, doesn't give them employment or a future. The politicians should take care of the issues. And this is why this modernization process and developing policies about health, about education, about housing, about employment, this is what the politics is all about. I'm a politician, and I know that our party, European People's Party, has won elections because we are delivering on jobs. We are delivering on the employment. We are delivering on the health. And this is how your politicians should be also responsible for the policies they're advocating in the parties. And in the future, this is what is important in the recommendation in the future modernization process. And it's positive that parties are now taking almost 30%. We need also education of the voters to know what to ask politicians and the parties, not only to know them by name or are they beautiful on the pictures or not, but to ask them what are they going to do for their future. Because we need reform of the public service, because public service is not employment service for your voters. Public service is to serve all the citizens, and politicians and the parties are there to help develop policies. And a continuation of modernization process is going towards that goal. This is how I have seen it through discussion papers that I have read from His Majesty. But in all of that, the most important thing is to preserve stability of Jordan for Jordanians and for your future. Because Jordan is a strategic partner of European Union. We want to see Jordan to grow economically, to return tourism to this beautiful country, and to also preserve its diversity of communities, of different communities. For us, it's very important as a Demo-Christian party that your Christian community here is preserved, that you have Syrian, that you have different communities. This is a unique model of Arab conviviality that we like to see, and we want to see also Europeans how it exists. So I think it's historical times in a way that it's continuing despite of all the global and geopolitical sensitive situation. And with that in mind, I think that our continuing dialogue in European Union and the continuation of visits that we had here will help as well strengthen the bridges that we need in the Middle East.